Hello, and welcome back to Life on the Rocks, the channel dedicated to all things related to geology. I'm your host, Cameron Thompson. Now, if you were to ask someone what their favorite dinosaur was, they would probably say something like Tyrannosaurus or Velociraptor. But if you asked me about my favorite dinosaur, I would talk about an animal not widely known by most people. An animal both important to the eyes of paleontologists and also peculiar if you have heard its nickname, the chicken from hell, the oviraptorid Anzu. In today's video, we'll cover the discovery of Anzu, its role in the environment, and to a lesser extent, its appearance in paleo media. However, before we cover the animal named after a demon from mythology, we have a paleo shout out. Today's shout out goes to Komodo dragons? Hear me out. In 2024, a new study on Komodo dragons, the apex predator of the Komodo Islands in Indonesia, found traces of iron in their teeth. The reason they had this adaptation was to keep their teeth sharp, in which they have a thin layer of enamel to survive. This study is also important as this could help us understand the anatomy of theropods like Tyrannosaurus and other carnivorous dinosaurs to see if they had similar adaptations. But for now, let's get back to the video. Anzu was a genus of oviraptorid in the Cynagnathidea family, a family related to most oviraptorids from Asia. The original remains of Anzu were discovered on a private ranch in South Dakota by paleontologists Fred Noose and Robert Diedrich. At this time, these remains were thought to belong to another dinosaur genus, Chirostenotes. It wasn't until 2014 that Anzu wiley, the type species of the genus, was described and reclassified. Anzu's name comes from the mythology of Anzu, a Mesopotamian bird demon that usurped divine power before being slain by the warrior god Ninurta, while wiley is made to commemorate a trustee of the Carnegie Museums in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. When measured up by a human, Anzu could nearly be as tall as a grown man, weigh as much as a grizzly bear, and be as long as a lion. Another nickname of Anzu I previously stated was the chicken from hell. Part of that comes from the formation it was found in. Anzu lived in the Hell Creek Formation that stretches from modern-day Montana, the Dakotas, and Wyoming. Coastal floodplains covered the environment that helped Anzu become a mesopredator, or a medium-sized predator. I already covered the megafauna Anzu coexisted with in my video on Tyrannosaurus, but I can talk about some of the microfauna it lived alongside, including its diet. Like most oviraptorids, Anzu was an omnivore that preyed on plants and animals. Anzu likely preyed on mammals like Alphodon and Didelphodon, lizards including Paleocynua, fish, plants like the fruit tree Spinifructus, and yes, eggs. However, Anzu was still vulnerable to predation from predators such as T-Rex and Nanotyrannus. Anzu acted like the equivalent of a modern-day cassowary and would have been able to outrun predators with long, slender legs built for speed. However, fossils have been found with healed rib and toe injuries. The crowning feature of Anzu was the crest adorning its head, which has been studied to be brightly colored for courtship displays. A common misconception about oviraptorids is that they hunted eggs for food. However, fossils over the years have pointed to the fact that the eggs found with oviraptors were likely their own, making them good parents that incubate their young. This applies to Anzu. Sadly, Anzu went extinct during the KPG extinction event, the event that wiped out 75% of all living species, including the non-avian dinosaurs. Despite the fact that Anzu is my favorite dinosaur, it doesn't have many interpretations in paleo media. However, it has had one interpretation in one of my favorite documentaries, T-Rex 2024. Since this is Anzu's only recognized appearance, I'll cover its role in more depth. Anzu's role in the documentary happens in the opening of the film, and Anzu uncovers a nest belonging to another dinosaur, showcasing its behavior. However, the mother of the nest, a Tyrannosaurus, kills the scavenger and loses her egg in the process. Anzu also has an upcoming appearance in Saurian, a survival game set in the Hell Creek Formation where you take control as a dinosaur and survive from a hatchling into an adult. Thank you again for tuning into another episode on the channel. This was one of my favorite videos I have probably published, and I can't wait to showcase some of my other favorite prehistoric animals in the future. Feel free to comment on your favorite dinosaur in the comments, and stay tuned next week for a video dedicated to an important mineral worn by ancient royalty. But as always, don't forget to get out and live life on the rocks.